Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. What's going on, guys? Jesus, brutal week on a SuperCoach front. It was a slow death too because the round started Friday, went all the way through to Tuesday, and I'll tell you what, it was probably one of the toughest rounds I can recall. It was clearly the hardest week for the year, and man, shit just kept going down, and I feel like I may have dodged a fair bit of it. I'm a bit concerned. There's a few scores I haven't looked at. But having a look at Langer's score and where I'm pretty sure I was projected at, I think things could be okay. I'll tell you what, if I can have any increase in my rank, it's 2 thumbs up because I'll be pretty pleased with that because, man, the carnage was real. Quick shout out to everyone who turned up to the subscriber goal kicking. I really appreciate that. It was great fun putting together the video right now. We've got that one coming along pretty nicely. There's Michaela having a kick. There's like someone who's kicking here. Oh, Brad's kicking. We love the snap. Does he dob it? He dobs it, and he loves it. So I'll have that, who knows, over the next week or so. It's a bit fiddly, sort of putting it all together. It takes a little bit of time and really stretches Shorty's tech skills, but that should be a good watch. And, yeah, thanks for everyone who came along. Before I jump into the SuperCoach, I just want to get your thoughts on this one, right? It's a bit of an old school thing, but you got your local stores, right? I feel like it's a bit of a way of the past where you roll into the local bakery or the post office or the what have you, and you just know the staff there. I feel like the old 9 to 5, it's not what it was, and people chop and change and different jobs, big organisations, but I do love your local, when you just walk in and you know the staff and they know you. And I've been going to this butcher for a little while, right? And, probably once a week, at least once every fortnight, talk a bit of footy with the bloke in there. Like, they're real old school blokes, classic butcher guys. But I loved this the other day. I walk in, obviously hadn't been in for a couple of weeks because school holidays, sort of went in after work more often than not. And he's like, oh, here he is, the best Geelong supporter in town. I was like, oh, bro, what's going on? But you know what? I fucking love that stuff, He's got me business for as long as I can imagine now because he's pumped me tyres up. But, do you have that? Do you have that in your life or do you rate that? Because I just thought it was interesting and it got me thinking, like, we don't have that as much anymore. When you actually have a chat to the person behind it. He's a Carlton supporter. We're talking footy. Shorty loves a bit of that. So would really like to hear your thoughts if you got a bit of that in your life. I love the local butcher, mate. Just get me, what do I normally get? You got a little bacon risole, little pork pie or a beef pie. See how Shorty's feeling. And the old chicken pastry. Ooh, so good. So good. Went in the other day. They didn't have the pastry thing. I was like, bro, what are you doing to me? What am I doing here? More like it. Got the double tab. Anyway, we've loaded. The green line looked good. Round rank. Good stuff. Moving in the right direction. That is all I ask. It's all I ask. To move up in rankings off a week like this, mate, that is happy days. Happy days. Let's have a look at how the team went. There was some carnage, there's no doubt about it. And there are some serious trades to happen again. Nick Dacos, bro, this guy is a freak. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, why aren't they tagging him? I mean, I know the guy's good and he runs hard and Collingwood feed him the ball, but come on. You got to try, don't you? Anyway, I'm happy about it. Don't tag him because the bloke is tearing it up. And, man, when he kicked that second goal, man, Langers were watching together with Tizio. I went off. Man, it was exciting. It was a ripper game too. A real exciting game. The Bombers may be the real deal. Like, I know they lost in the end, but Cats will have their work cut out next week. I reckon I'll go along to that one. Tommy Stewart, 111. Didn't even think he played that well. Just did his job, but you take that. Jack Sinclair, 105. Thought he played better than that. So it's funny how when you watch a game and you don't follow the scores, like, I don't know what Sinclair would have been on at quarter time, but, man, it must have been around 50. That was a fantastic first quarter. I know they were raving about him in the midfield on the coverage, but much prefer him off half-back, in my opinion, from a SuperCoach perspective. But, gee, you won't sneeze at 105. And this is where it gets a little iffy. We got 3 50s here. Michael Laney, 50, McKenna, 57, and Jones, 53. Now, they'll all have to go over the next 2 weeks. I'll talk about my trades in a moment. Bit of cash gen disappointment with Wilmot, and obviously Cowan's the slowest burn of all time. Oliver, that'll be great for people who don't have him because they'll finally see a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel in trying to get him with a 98. And that might have even benefited me a little bit with getting English's VC. A lot of people, if they didn't land the VC, probably had the C on Oliver. So it maybe even benefited me having a slightly lower score from Clary. Bont was ridiculous. I mean, man, imagine if I put the VC on him. But, you know, if only. Luke Davies-Uniacke, I don't know. First couple of weeks, dominant. And then the last three, progressively worse. And I didn't catch all the game. I often do this thing where if I don't catch a game and I've got a spare time, like I'll just get on KO and just do the old right arrow key 15 seconds at a time. And particularly for a guy like LDU and Will Phillips I was watching as well, just basically went to every stoppage and just sort of scanned through the game. Gets you a bit of an idea of how it all went. But I don't know. I thought he started well and I don't know what's going on there. I'll back him in. I mean, the overall average still looks good, but the last three doesn't. I'll tell you what, when Will Phillips got subbed off, I was verbally angry. I'm sitting there just watching the replay, and oh man, I was like, fuck, you're kidding me, mate. Why? What? I mean, it hurt doubly because I knew he wasn't going great. Was hoping to just scratch out a 50 or a 60. But it was even worse because I thought, here we go, no Jai Skimpian. This is actually his chance to maybe take those 60s and 70s to maybe an 80 plus. Wasn't to be. And Will's probably got to go. Hopper, going well. He's still got a bit of coin to make, I feel. He'll definitely get beyond 450. Ashcroft, rock solid for a 70. No urgency to get rid of him, but by the same token, he's probably not going to make a stack more cash. We touched on Phillips there. And McVee, yeah, it wasn't his best scoring game, but touch under 60, nothing too bad. Wagner was really good. He took some kick-outs, and certainly, obviously, without Tom Green, you know, I was probably down a premium against a lot of people, which is even why I was even more pleased to just move up in the ranks, because I felt like I was batting a little bit below. And even it's funny, the sliding doors in SuperCoach, because if Wagner scores like 10 points less and scores 54 or something, I'm probably like, actually, I'll probably back Matt Roberts in. I'll put him on the field. But the 60 plus just makes me go, yeah, I'll take it. And I missed the 19 from Roberts. So it's super frustrating because I think he's out for a period of time. I don't know. I haven't checked. But that is frustrating, you know, from a cash generation point of view, sort of pisses you off. But yes, anyway, that was just only part of the carnage. I reckon we had Tuke Miller, Jordan Dawson was down, Lockie Neal was down, even guys like Cal Wilkie, Cozzy Pickett, some people might have just bought in for that injection of cash, just had howlers. Oh, mate, it was something else this week, just shocking. Moving on to the ruck department, and Tim English just dominates. I mean, he is playing fantastic footy and finally put the VC on him, and he delivered nicely. Rowan Marshall, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I've been a big supporter of him, and holy shit, what's Machito Owens doing in bloody the ruck so often, mate? What's going on there? I'm looking at him going, bro, get back to the 450, mate. This is Marshall's domain. I wonder if the centre bouncer tendency is up, because I'm watching it. There was definitely something a bit off with Marshall's role, I felt. Now, obviously, Gawn's going to plummet at a bit of price, but scored 98. I actually thought he'd score more with all those contested marks and that. So he will come down a lot in price. I guess maybe 5 clangers didn't help. And look, Gawn's role ain't perfect either. It's not perfect either, but I mean, if he gets forward eligibility the way he's going at the moment, do they have him up? They do. So look, he's clearly the guy in the ruck. It's about a 50-50 split, actually. So, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't fill you with confidence, but if he's going to get that forward status, maybe we jump on in a week or two when he does plummet. But did Owens get many centre bounces? So only 13 centre bounce attendance, and Marshall was still the guy, but I don't know. Around the ground, it definitely felt like Owens. I mean, give me your read on that, because me watching it, I was like, Owens is doing a lot of follow-up here. Marshall is playing a bit forward at times. I didn't like it. Didn't like it. Anyway, we'll see how that develops. It's far from a pressing issue. Dunkley, rock solid, always is. Taranto, just doing fantastic things. Rosie, boy, dominated. And he'd probably had a run of 90s, and you just felt like a big one was around the corner, and it certainly was. Zeeble, very, very good. That role's a dream. Wasn't affected by Hall. Won't be affected by Hall. Back him in. Now, Errol Goulden. Mate, that role was disgusting. I watched it. Not much went right for the Swans, but if this bloke's centre bounce attendance is more than 20%, then I'm not watching the game properly. Where is he? Errol Goulden, 24. So there you go, which is a significant drop, his lowest of the year. And I don't know where else it went. Probably Papley had an increase, but not from last week. Rowbottom had an increase. Yeah, it's really hard to say exactly what happened, but even, someone like Heaney got a bit more centre bounce on the weekend, and even Callum Mills is a really interesting watch. Positionally, we might be able to pick him up all right. Where is Gordon priced at? He'd be about 570 or something, wouldn't he? 568. Goulden, I personally, I'll talk about my trades in a moment, but I think he almost has to go. He could be a top 8 forward, and maybe I keep him just because it was a terrible day for the Swans. Not much worked. He didn't do himself any favours too. He cracked in early, got caught holding the ball twice, gave away a stupid high free kick, missed goals he should have kicked. So, I don't know. It was an ordinary day, but it could have easily been a 70. But by the end of it, he was just on the wing. Sydney couldn't win the ball. They wouldn't switch the ball. Oh, it was a disgusting watch. I mean, I'm a SuperCoach nerd, so I'm sitting there going, how good is this? The Cats look back. We're smashing the Swans. This is fantastic. But by the same token, there's a part of my brain going, fucking hell, could Gordon get into it, mate? You're doing my head in, bro. Like, perfect game of footy for me. Cats win. Shorty's players go well. Perfect day. It doesn't always work. But, some people call me a shit supporter, but there were times when I was like, you know what, Goulden having a set shot, we're up by 60 points. Not the worst thing if he kicks it. Not the worst. And then Sheasel, he got tagged, I believe. I can't remember who went to him, but there was someone that went to him, and that's bound to happen. I'm not losing my shit over it. I think his break-even's in the high 90s. I'll certainly leave him. I mean, if he scores 75... then it's probably time to go. And that's just an easy switch, mate. Like, that's just an upgrade. I mean, he's going to be 420 minimum, 450, whatever it be. Happy days. It's an easy swap if we have to get rid of him. Sheasel may not be a top 6 forward. It'd be unlikely. There's not too many first-year players you keep all year, so it's not a surprise. But if he does start to slow up, it's an easy switch. Van Rooyen, did he get going? Shorty got on the TikTok and went nuts on it. That one, it was at about 3/4 time, I'm thinking, man, this guy could get subbed off. He could get dropped. This ain't good. And then went bang and looked like a superstar. And Davey, I was just happy he got named. Happy he's in the team. Maybe he can get to 250k. But look, let's just take a look at some of my matchups. And I think I won half the leagues. Got a close one there, and I probably needed to in the content creators. Got a close loss there to Jared. Another close loss there in my first Shorty SuperCoach. That hurts. A close loss again to the last dance, mate. Oh, there were some tight losses here. Got an easy dub there in Shorty 4. Easy dub there over Nicole, who does feature in the goal kicking. Got a win over there over Oliver. Did I win Braggers? Fuck! I was really hoping to win Braggers there. I think I've slipped back just a smidgen. So, yeah. No, I mean, half of the year leagues isn't too bad, but anyway. So just to sum up, I will be going live tomorrow night on Wednesday. I'll put that in the comments. But yeah, Wednesday is pretty much a lock. I think we'll pretty much lock that one in, I think. My trades, the way I'm reading it, I think James Sicily has to come in, and I think this man is probably around 500 now, 499. So it's a bit of a pity, like, you know, he broke his break even, Sinclair didn't, much of a muchness, but I think Cornelio and Sicily have to come in. And Mitchell probably has to come in as well. The young Hawk, 123. I think he scored about 80 in his second game. Sincotta looked pretty good too, so keep him in mind. But what do I need? So if we got Sicily at 533, let's say it's Michael Laney, 222. So I have 20k left in the bank. If we go McKenna down to Mitchell, add the 21 that I had left over, got 200k. To get Cornelio, I'd have to trade out a bloke at 299. So I don't think we're going to have many rookies at that price. That's the iffy thing. That's going to be iffy. Because originally I was hoping to go up. I was originally hoping to go up to, like, you know, a McVeigh or a Phillips. Look, Will Ashcroft, like I said before, has done his job. And it might be a matter of me looking at my trades the week after as well. I'm not even sure if this break-even's fully updated or not. I don't think it is. I think 44 was last week. So I guess my two choices would be Ashcroft would leave me with about 45k, or I could go Cornelio for Goulden, which would then just only be an upgrade of like 30k, and I'd have like 170 for the week after, which could then be, you know, that could then be a Jones down to Sincotta, which would give me like probably 200k because he's 102, which would give me, yeah, that'd give me quite a bit of cash there, 370. And Ashcroft could definitely go to someone like, whether it's Sam Walsh, try and get in Lockie Neal, Rory Laird. Yeah, something to think about. I mean, look, I'm kind of feeling like Dawson and Neal won't put in too many sub-80 matches, so I feel like getting them in 2 to 3 weeks' time might be good, might be the best option I've got. By the same token, you know, Darcy Parish, I think he's a 110 averager at about 550. I don't reckon he's the worst either. Someone like Petrarca, like, these aren't your top-end guys, but I just wonder how let's see how it develops. I'll hit the old notepad, but Shorty got waffling there, got cut off. But yeah, look, basically in short, it's really just a question of how much I trust Goulden. Was that just a bad game? He's probably hasn't been quite at his best since the first couple of weeks either. Is that role just something they threw around last week because it was all going wrong? Or can he? Look, I think he'll definitely play better in wins just by the way he's slightly more outside. I know he can win it inside, but he is more of your handball, boots it sort of operator. I'll have a play around with it. Because I do think I have to get rid of Will Phillips pretty soon anyway. Yeah, look, that's one for the off camera. Shorty's got to have a bit of a think about it, but hey, we've got a couple of days to do it. So yeah, we'll be going live tomorrow night. That's Wednesday, 7:30. Hope to catch you then. We'll do the quiz, answer all your questions. It'll be a bit of fun. I'll talk to you then. Cheers.